Hey everybody, welcome back to another reaction video. This one is Margaret and Elizabeth, Pride and Joy. This is in reference to Queen Elizabeth II and her sister Margaret. I reacted to a Princess Margaret video a couple days ago, and I gotta say, I see some similarities between Margaret and Harry. And obviously there's probably others, but something about it being that close to a power position. And, you know, maybe it's more like figurehead position, but being close to any sort of notoriety and fame. And they have just a taste of it, and they represent the crown wherever they go. But it's fleeting. It's not within their grasp unless, you know, the person dies without any kids, and then you're like, hey, look at me, you know, but yoink. But yeah, no, it's tough. It would be tough. I don't know exactly how I would handle it. You know, I have older brothers, but there's not that like drive to be this figurehead with that. So that's a whole other element to like sibling rivalry. That you can't know unless you're in. And yeah, I can't even imagine how that goes. But this video was recommended by a Patreon subscriber. Leave a like on the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Link down below in the description to become a Patreon subscriber. I guess they call it a patron. Anyway, let's go.
Hello, you. Hello, you. She and I are complicated.
Elder sister, younger sister, number one and number two.
Who's number one?
You, of course.
And flash.
A natural number one whose tragedy it is to have been born number two.
That is my burden.
We're all number one in our own lives. Never take the eye off the prize.
Pride and joy. Remember what Papa called us.
Margaret is. Elizabeth is my pride, and Margaret is my joy.
But Margaret is my joy. I'm sorry. I have to claim a few victories I've left. And we're not disputing it, surely.
Your father would have been proud.
That I was Papa's favorite.
Lilibet never lets you down. Ticked every box. Never put a foot wrong. Now, finally, I love you more than I love Margaret.
I always think my sister would have made it not the better. It was more natural first baby.
Oh, mine too. A born queen. And the greatest of British queens.
Her ability to mess things up in the long run.
Or outshine me.
And mess things up.
And outshine me.
I don't think I can do it. I could. I know you could. Then tell them. Margaret Rose can do it. Margaret Rose wants to do it. Margaret Rose was born to do it. You were.
For the record, I think there are many things you're good at.
Name one that's actually meaningful.
Being a sister. Of all the people everywhere, you are the closest and most important to me. And if by doing this, you wanted to let me imagine for 1 minute what life would be like without you, you succeeded.
Princess Elizabeth's destiny is to accede to the throne. Yours is to serve and support. I would urge you to accept your position in life. We all have a role to play. Princess Elizabeth's will be center stage, and yours, ma'am, will be from the wings.
That's it exactly. Your sister is center stage and will always be center stage, and you will always be on the wing, waiting behind the curtains. That would be a tough pill to swallow for some people, especially depending on how much ego they have, you know, how much they wish it was them, how much jealousy, envy, etc. That would eat away at a lot of people, I think. So it's not surprising that Margaret would feel that kind of emotion towards Elizabeth. But as you saw in that one scene, what she really doesn't get is the fact that, yes, she has, you know, she's not the queen, but the queen relies on her to keep her grounded, at least, or at least some sort of family, as everybody else there is just a servant. And maybe Elizabeth, in the show at least, lost track of that. You know, you start to believe your family is a bunch of servants serving you, representing you. That can get tricky. But there's definitely a need for family ties when you're that powerful and, you know, center stage.
It's close to it, isn't it? There are two sisters so close in age that the more one becomes one thing, the more the other necessary.
I almost think that's why there's a White House. You know what I mean? It's a place for the president of the U.S. to stay, but it's also big. They push, you know, family and stuff like that. There's a residence for the family. It's almost the way of trying to keep them grounded because they have just this absolute power almost. It's looking more powerful by the day. It's almost a way to try to keep some humanity in all that noise.
The opposite. Vice versa. It's the way of things. If one is the queen, must be the source of honor, all that is good. The other necessarily becomes evil sister. No one says you're evil. Next to you, always be evil. Fictus.
Kinda.
Less a thing. So you must hold it all together.
Also depends on your
Must I do
actions,
that
though.
alone? There is only one queen.
There is only one queen. That is the major takeaway from any and all fights or whatever from that show. Only one person on stage at a time. And Margaret couldn't really handle it much. I get it, though. I get it. I would probably be feeling the same way. You know, you were born into this powerful family and you're that close from ultimate, you know, power or whatever, but you'll never get it. You'll never get it. But I think the way to stay sane throughout all that is to keep an eye on what you can control, your life, you know, your social habits, the kind of news you make. You do get a title. You do get a, you know, your own place to stay, which is grand and opulent. But yeah, underneath it all, you're probably still envious and jealous and wishing it was different, but can't be. So I kind of understand where she's coming from, but I also think she could deal with a big pill of reality and just accept the, you know, your lay in life. And when it comes to that, I mean, most people can kind of at least try to change their life. In that situation, there's no changing it unless you know, off your sister, which is not great. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like the video if you like it, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one.